Don't know Finebaum's opinion yet, but the mainstream media is saying Otega Oway will return for another senior season. This is all in theory, but things are looking promising. The hype surrounding Otega Oway's future and his tenure with the Kentucky Wildcats for the 2025-26 season is running high, as the most respected voices in the national media are beginning to converge on one direction: the All-SEC players' return. With the NBA draft deadline set for May 28th, Oway has been keeping his cards close to his chest, but signs are increasingly pointing to a clear path. During practice sessions at the NBA Draft Combine in Chicago, where he had opportunities to showcase his skills against some of the best prospects in the world, the player showed everything that was already known about him: an impressive combination of athleticism, vision, and leadership skills. He shined in decisive moments, such as when he scored 14 points and grabbed 5 rebounds on Thursday, in addition to posting solid numbers in assists and steals. However, those performances were not enough to completely convince NBA scouts that he is ready to make the immediate jump to the league. And that, paradoxically, may be the best news for Kentucky. The return of Otega Oweh would be a gift for Mark Pope, the coach who is building his brand at the helm of the program. Since taking over, Pope has sought to reaffirm Kentucky as an unshakable powerhouse in the college scene, and having a player of Oweh's caliber for another year would be a game-changer. With his relentless leadership style and ability to create plays for himself and his teammates, Oweh is the kind of asset that can turn good teams into great ones. Fox Sports Radio's Aaron Torres was adamant that with Oweh back, Kentucky will be a top 5 to top 10 and could seriously compete for a national championship. That's no small feat for a program that's always looking to exceed its own expectations. But the impact goes beyond the athletic aspect. ESPN's Bobby Marks brought up a crucial issue: the financial decision involved in this process. While there is room for Oweh in the NBA, especially on exceptional contracts or two-way deals, the amounts offered would fall far short of the true economic potential he could achieve with another year of development. Returning to Kentucky will give Oweh the chance to hone key aspects of his game, such as his three-point shooting and conditioning, which are still seen as areas in need of refinement. Furthermore, the exposure that comes with playing a leading role on an elite team like Kentucky could significantly increase his market value in the upcoming draft. In other words, returning is not only a strategic choice for his technical development, but also a smart decision in terms of his career and finances. The rumors about Oweh's decision gained momentum after his final workouts at the Combine, with analysts like Jeff Goodman of the Field of 68 and Adam Finkelstein of 247 Sports aligning themselves with the narrative that Lexington will once again be his home. This prospect is generating optimism in all corners of the Kentucky community. Imagine a packed Rupp Arena, with the crowd cheering every move of the player who has already become a local icon. Imagine the renewed energy of a team that, with Oweh's help, can reach even higher horizons. This scenario, although still hypothetical, is already beginning to take shape in the minds of fans. Kentucky needs leaders like Oweh more than ever at a time when college basketball is more competitive and unpredictable than ever. Traditional teams are struggling to maintain their status, while new programs are emerging as constant threats. Oweh's presence, combined with the growing experience of coach Mark Pope, could be an invaluable asset. But if he does decide to return, Kentucky will have a unique opportunity, and one that everyone is waiting for. Mark Pope's first season as head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats has been a standout. His bold goal of shooting at least 30 three-pointers per game, something only 3 programs have achieved by the 2023-24 season, was a clear statement of intent. Kentucky would not only compete, but evolve as the game evolved. But like any grand vision, the path isn't always straightforward. Pope's eventual average of 25.3 three-point attempts per game left him unsatisfied, and he was quick to acknowledge that publicly during his recent press conference. "I failed miserably at that last year," Pope said, with a candor that reflects his constructive self-criticism and determination to improve. For a coach accustomed to pushing his teams to high levels of offensive volume, especially during his time at BYU, where his team ranked second in the nation with 32 three-point attempts per game, falling short of that mark was a clear disappointment. But at the same time, Pope showed maturity in contextualizing the challenges he faced. The hasty roster assembly after his arrival and the constant injuries that plagued the team throughout the season made it difficult to implement the ideal system. Still, The team's 37.5% overall shooting from distance was a notable achievement, indicating that when shots were taken, they often found their target. The failure to reach the goal of 33-pointers should not be interpreted as a definitive setback, but rather as an opportunity to adjust and refine the approach. Entering his second year at the helm of the Wildcats, Pope reiterated his belief that the volume of long-range shooting remains a key pillar of the team's success. "It's very important for us," the coach said, noting that the current style of play demands such adaptation. In a basketball increasingly dominated by the efficiency and spacing provided by three-point shooting, to ignore this trend would be to neglect a crucial part of the system. However, transitioning to this model will require significant adjustments to the roster available for the 2025-26 season. While the previous group featured 4 players who shot above 34% from three-point range, converting at least one basket per game, none of those players will be present in the upcoming edition of the championship. This void creates a void that will need to be filled by new talent, such as Tulane transfer Cam Williams, and others who show potential, such as Jasper Johnson, Jalen Lowe, Otega Oweh, Colin Chandler, and Denzel Aberdeen. Each of these players brings unique traits that can contribute to a revamped and more versatile offense. Among the key pieces of the new roster, Andrija Jelavic stands out as a center capable of spacing the floor and creating opportunities for peripheral shots, while the guards should take an even more prominent role in executing the offensive plan. While volume of three-point shooting is a priority, Pope has repeatedly emphasized that quality cannot be sacrificed for quantity. Forcing ill-advised or uncomfortable shots is not part of his philosophy. Last season served as a valuable lesson in that regard. The balance between aggressiveness and efficiency is key. The question remains whether the 2025-26 roster will have the depth and confidence to sustain such a high average of three-point attempts without compromising other facets of the game. Only 5 teams managed to crack the 30-point barrier from distance last season, and only one of them advanced to the NCAA tournament. That raises questions about the viability of such a strategy in a competitive landscape where defensive consistency and the ability to score in multiple ways remain the deciding factors. Despite these challenges, Pope's determination to remedy last year's failure is a testament to his resilience and long-term vision. He knows that transforming Kentucky into a three-point shooting machine will require patience, strategic planning, and the trust of his players. With a recruitment focused on filling the team's needs, including physicality and athleticism, that were lacking last season, there's reason to be optimistic. The real test will be how the team responds to the new emphasis on long-range shooting while maintaining the balance needed to compete at a high level. If Pope can balance those elements, Kentucky could be a great team. Let us know.